Okay, Ji. As you see here, on your left hand side, find values by. So we already have created value set in our last session. If there is any key flex field segment or any descriptive flex field, तो ये जो हैं और concurrent program ये different topics हैं. Descriptive flex field be related is that whenever we need to add any extra values in our form, I will show you where you can see those values when we will go into the forms screens. Let us see the first value CCL, I think job percentage, CCL percentage, job percentage tag. So let me, yeah. This was our value set name which we created for job key flex field. So now what we have to do, we have to add the values in the session. So this is our value set name, and now we are going to add the values. So what will happen once we will add the values now? After that, these values, whenever we will attach this key flex field with the job in the business group, and once we will complete the business group setup, after that one, then we have to go into the job screen. So means we already created the job for the business group, for the business, यानी कि हम CCL का the setup which we are doing for the CCL pharmacy for an example. So what we will do, whatever the jobs they have, okay, we will create the jobs for them. And whenever any job, for example, there are 20 jobs or 25 job names, okay, so what we will do as a consultant, we will create those 20-25 jobs for HR, because the reason is this job is going to attached with the employee. ठीक है ना, जैसे सीईओ का एक एम्प्लॉय क्रिएट होगा, मैनेजर का एक एम्प्लॉय क्रिएट होगा, ये तमाम एम्प्लॉयज जो क्रिएट होंगे एचआर के अंदर, उसमें हम बेसिकली वो जॉब्स का सेटअप इस वक्त हम क्रिएट कर रहे हैं कि वो जॉब जो है वो उसके लिए क्रिएट कर दें हम पहले. तो दो, आफ्टर क्रिएटिंग दिस लिस्ट ऑफ वैल्यू, then what happen, whenever any HR is going to create any employee in HR screen, they can just click on the list of value and they can see all these job names. ठीक है, बेसिकली ये है इसका पूरा स्ट्रक्चर जॉब का. जब हम इसी तरह आगे करेंगे उसको, पोजीशन का सेगमेंट होता है. पोजीशन इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग you are using in your current harmony system. वो उसके बारे में भी अभी नेक्स्ट जब हम उस टॉपिक पे आएंगे देन वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट इट. तो सपोज करें जी असिस्टेंट, या दिस इज असिस्टेंट, ठीक है, ये बेसिक डिस्क्रिप्शन यूज़ हो रही है. हम 4-5 कुछ 6-7 इस तरह बनाते हैं. ठीक है, जनरल मैनेजर लाइक दैट. ठीक है जी, लेट इट कॉपी, क्लिक टैब करूँगा तो अगली स्क्रीन पे आ जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली, अगले यानी कॉलम पे आ जाएगा. डाउन एरो की करूँगा तो वो नीचे आ जाएगा. सो आई एम जस्ट यूजिंग द सेम थिंग्स. जनरल मैनेजर हो गया, अकाउंटेंट कर लें आप. ठीक है जी, सेम अकाउंटेंट. ठीक है जी, then we will write simple manager. ठीक है जी. अच्छा, sometimes the interviewer basically asks the question, the difference between the job and the position. ठीक है, तो उसमें let me explain you the job जो होती है वो basically that is only one category. Means manager is a job, assistant manager is a position, account manager is a position, finance manager is a position. You get my point? Means sales manager is a position, manager is a job. क्योंकि manager, general manager, assistant, director, these all kind of categories are basically called jobs. Assistant director is also a, you can say, is a position. Means accountant, account director, sometimes it's all depends on the organization, job hierarchy structure, whatever the structure is. तो हम ये 5 हम बनाते हैं. तो ये जब when it is going to complete and when it is going to be utilized in the job, you will see these list of values there. So I just click on Control S, and my values are now going to store for this job, CCL job value set. And the same value set, as you know, we already attached this value set where in the key flex field. Let me show you again the same structure, because we have to go for the another structure there. Basically, as I defined in our last session, that we have 6 key flex fields which we have to set up. Means as a consultant, implementation consultant, we have to implement HR core key flex fields, which are the grade, job, position, okay, competency, uh, key means the cost allocation key flex field, and the people group. This now you can see I just select the application name, which is human resource. For example, if I want to select here payroll, because 2 key flag fields as you see here, cost allocation and people group, these are the core key flag field, and plus 4 in the HR. Now you get an idea. The 2 key flag fields are in payroll.
Okay.
And 4 are in HR, human resource. Okay, cost allocation flag field is related to the finance. Whenever the finance consultants do the setup for finance application, and they do create the accounting key flex fields, which we discussed, that they want to make the chart of account, general ledger, all those kind of things. Then they create the accounting key flex field, and we use the same segments in the cost allocation key flex field. We don't have to design our structure, because we have to use the same structure which they already created for finance, because in the payroll, when we are going to run and finalize the payroll on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis, payroll is going to be run for few organizations. Mostly it is monthly basis, but when there are means worker in the factories who are working over there, sometimes it is bi-monthly or bi-weekly. Payroll is also going to be run to get the overtime for the workers. Based on that, when we are running the payroll on a monthly basis, then the payroll is going to be transferred to general ledger. So that's why whatever the cost is attached with the department or with the employees, it is going to be hit and settled in the finance general ledger module. That's why these 2 core key flex fields plus 4 is in the HR, as we discussed.
Okay.
Again, yeah, again, see, competency, grade, job key flex is already designed so far. Now we have to create the grade flex field. Let me come into the job for a while to show you the uh, structure which we created and the value set which we discussed right now. Is we entered the values for the job key flex field. So here is our C. As you see, CCL job KFF is our structure. Okay. Once we click on the segment, we added the job value set.
Hmm.
You remember we created the value set over here. So
Yes.
this is the value set. Once we click on the value set, we can automatically say now this is the independent value set. We want to see the values, then we have to copy this value set name, and then we have to add the values over there. So this kind of setup is going to be done for the job key flex field. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
most of the it only depends on the business. So for example, in CCL, I just created job name. Sometimes they few of the companies have job level as well. If there is a job level, then we will create the another segment. So this whole row is going to call a segment. Means as I also mentioned in my last session, the total we have 30 segments in one key flex field. Okay, so now when we are going to create the grade structure, okay, so we will have to go into the job. We have to go into the grade key flex field. Right now we are on the job key
Job.
flex field screen. Now
Okay.
I want to select the grade. So I will again click on first. I will select the application. I just enter H key and human resource automatically comes, and then I have to click on the grade flex field now. Now once I click on the grade key flex field, I'm going to create a new structure for the grade. So once I click on the details section, I will click on plus icon, and then I will write CCL grade CCL underscore grade underscore KFF. Okay, so we just create then I click on the tab button, and automatically whatever the name we have write down in the codes column, title automatically come the same, and we can write down any description if we want to by clicking on description CCL pharma, like that, pharma grade KFF. Now I'm going into the segment section. I click on the segment button. Now what I will do, I have to create the grade name. I will I want to say that my first most of the time grade have only one segment. Most of the time. Because if somebody have you can say grade number or grade name.
Okay.
So we will use the grade name, and in the segment 1, the same info segment as. And now the point is, when we are going to create any key flex field, every key flex field have 30 segments. Now you can get an idea. Means for job, once we click on the job key flex field, and we created the job structure. Okay, under the structure there are 30 segments. Now again we are in the grade structure. grade key flex fields. And now when we are going to create any segments structure for grade, we can use 20 segments maximum. This is the limit which we can use. So
Okay,
this is
sir.
the key questions. Sometimes interviewer asks that how many segments we have for grade, means in the key flex field or any segment. Okay, now again I'm going to create the value set because we don't have the value set for grade. So what we will do, we will create the segment for value set for the grade as well. So I am going to click on the value set and the same CCL underscore grade VS like this, and CCL pharma grade value set. No security character, same thing. Means grade, how many means character, means how many maximum length we want in the grade. For example, in pharma, you last time I think you mentioned you have A1, A2, A3, like this something.
Yes.
What kind of
G1,
grade you are using right now?
G1, G2, G3, G4.
Okay, G1. Okay, fine. So as you see, G is one character and one is another character. So two character maximum we are using.
Okay,
If you
sir.
see, so I'm maximum. I'm mentioning here 5. Okay.
Okay.
Again, it is independent. I'm not going to use dependent right now. I will explain independent and table in a later sessions.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now I just created the value set as a grade. I just click on Control S. My grade value set is created. And now what I will do, I will attach that value set with my segment, with my key segment. Again, if I want to click on open, I don't want to make it required. Okay, I just want to make it uh, free. Means if means HR want to enter, it is fine, but most of the time it is entered because this is the key information of every employee in the organization. You automatically get an ID. Means whenever we are creating an employee, CO definitely need a grade, CO definitely need a job name. So these kind of information is must required. So I'm just reducing the description size because two character is there maximum. This size is this range size, field size is maximum 5. So this is the 5 character of field. So why we need 25 50 size? So it will be the big field to display. Okay, so that's why this is the only control numbers where we can reduce the size or maximum the size of the field basically. So this is the second segment which we created. And now what I will do, I will go into the values for this specific. uh, Let me freeze it. Let me allow dynamic insert as well, and let me compile it. After that, the value set grade structure will be created automatically in this table. This is basically the table. If you see here, the flex field was compiled successfully, submitted request to generate flex field view. In very our initial sessions, I told you that we have tables, we have views, we have indexes. These kind of terminology used for the database because every information is going to store into the tables, and we can fetch the information from there. So once I click on it, for example, if that information is opened here, I can show you that what is the table using behind this. Let me click here, click help, click diagnostics, not from here, click on sorry, help, record history. So once I click on this, is the screen is showing the
No,
pop-up
sir.
window?
No, sir.
Okay,
We are on the same screen.
record history. Okay, this is giving an error right now over here. Maybe sometimes it's not available in the system administrator, but once we will go into the HR now, I will show you there.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now what we will do, now we are going to add the values for this grade structure. I just entered the grade structure name. I just entered, now I'm going to enter the values. For example, now G1 is our, oh sorry, okay, G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, G7, G8, oh, G7, G8, G9, G10, G11, and G12. So again, I just want to save it. I just save this now, and my value set for values for this value set is created, means now I enter the values and my grade key flex structure is also created. Now let me go into position. Do you want to try with yourself, or you will try in later stage, or I will do
Sir,
it
sir, I will do in later stage, sir.
okay, okay, fine. Let me ccl underscore position
Okay.
underscore kff ccl pharma position kff.
Sir, position spelling are not correct.
Yeah, okay, no problem. PO. So I will go into the segment now. Most of the time, what's happened in position. Now,
Hmm.
position names can also be created by the employees. Most of the time they have to create position names by themselves, because what happened, in all of the organization, most of the peoples have different positions names, because they have a lot of jobs, lot of designations, you can say, and they have different kind of departments in their organization. So they sometimes use a different kind of names of the position. They want to create it by themselves. So what we will do, once we will create two segments. One will be the position code. I will explain you about it. Position code will be the, you can say, the number of the position of the segment. Means we will start from 1000 for an example. Okay,
Okay.
00001 will be the first position code, and the name will be, for example, chief executive officer. It will be the one position. Okay, the second, once they are going to create the second position, what will happen, they will create once, whenever they go into the position section,
Okay.
then they will create new, and the position code will be 0002.
Hmm.
So the number sequence will be used over there, and the position name will be based on the position code. So both will be used in while creating a position to control the, you can say, the position hierarchy, to or you can say there will be no duplication in the position names, because code, every time whenever the HR peoples are going to create the positions, they will use the different sequence. And what we can do, we can write a code in the value set. Based on that, that position code, whenever they will click on new, automatically the new position code will appear. So
Okay.
they don't have to write the position code by themselves. So it will be like a sequence incremental. Means 00001 will be the first number, and it will be increment next time whenever they click on new. 00002 will automatically appear.
Sir,
Though they have to only, yeah.
you mean to say first time we will insert the first code. After that,
No,
it,
even there are two options. One is that we will create a manual
hmm.
scenario,
Okay.
and the second thing is we will create the automatically. Okay, so
Okay,
for
sir.
the automatically, I have to write the query of the incremental in this position code segment, and based on that, that number will be auto generated over there. So we will create that query in later stage, but so far we are going to just create two segments for them, so you can get a better idea. Because in the query, we have to open the toad and write the query of incremental uh, for that specific segment. Based on that, when it will call into the position screen, then it will be automatically, you will be in good position to understand what exact scenario I'm talking about. On that stage, we will write the query if we will require. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So right now, position name will be the second segment. I will write the segment. I will select segment 2 here. It all depends on you. If you want to select segment 30 here, it's all depends on you.
Okay.
There is no hard and fast rule that we can select segment 1 for first row or segment 2. Even we can select segment 26 here and segment 30 here. But it is as much, it is much better that we can use this sequence to get a much better understanding for everyone. So it is also a means a good practice to see all this kind of do this kind of things. So I let me add the value set for this one as well. Yeah, for this, yeah, okay, we will create the value set, no problem. We will create, so you will get much clear picture. Position value set. Okay, CCL pharma position value set character. Here we can do give 150, because position name will be anything. Means even chief executive officer, if we will count the characters of chief, then executive, then officer. So I think it is more than 25 characters. Okay, so this is one of the position name. There will be different positions in different names can be utilized. So maximum you can give is you can give 250 as well, but 150 is enough over here. So let me save this and close this. Let me go inside again because I didn't mention that these fields are required or not. So I don't want to make it required so far. We can update it, we can change this kind of option later. There is no hard and fast, we can do it. If we want to make it required, we can make it. But
Okay.
currently I don't want to make it required. I want to make it okay. He's saying that before clicking on the freeze field, kindly save the segment which we created. So now you see transaction complete, 3 records applied and saved. So now I can click on freeze, then I will click on allow dynamic insert, and then I will compile it. Click on compile button, and then based on that it will create the whole segment structure into the per position definition key flex field view. V is view
View.
in the
Okay.
end. So this is the table name basically.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now we already created 3 segments, 3 key flex field. Now I'm going to create the human resource competence flex field. In competencies, basically, for example, let me show you any current competencies which is already created. Okay, so see, competency category and competency name. So what is basically they are doing, because competency is related to the topic to the career management. Okay, so
Hmm.
in career management, what most of the organization have some competencies, internal competencies for their departments and for the employees as well. Means we will see say that this is you can say I have the whole document. I will open it and I will explain it to you, but I'm just want to give you a brief overview that competency is basically that, for example, when we advertise any jobs, for
Yes.
example,
Yes.
we also mentioned that. Yeah, please.
It's a kind of skills we required.
Yes, it's kind of skills, but it is related to the competencies.
Yeah.
Skills, yes, skills is also linked with competencies, but
Hmm.
in bigger organizations now, what they have some standard competencies. Okay,
Okay.
based on those standard competencies, they have skills levels and they have ratings also. Means this competency have this skills, this competency have skills, have this kind of ratings as well. So based on that skills and rating is basically the whole means chapter is related to the career management, because based on that what we will see for the organization, in the organization for the employee. For example, if employee want to do something within a year, he want to upgrade himself, he want to do some certifications, he want to upgrade skills in excel, he want to upgrade the skills in Microsoft Office, he want to upgrade his skills, means for example in Oracle certification he want to do it. So these kind of skills, they need to be updated. Based on that skills, we also give the ratings. Means for example, if he will skills on a, means on a good, So the good is 3 rating. Excellent is means, for example, 5 rating, and very good is 4 rating. Fair or fine something. So these are a kind of skills based on linked with the competencies. So what we will do for the time being, what we will do, we will create only the competency name. Okay, we will not go for categories, because that will be going to the details section. But basically you have to understand that we currently, what we are doing, we are creating the segments for the key flex fields, and those keys flex fields are mandatory to do the setup for the business group.
Hmm.
If we will not do the setup, create the structures for the key flex fields, we were unable to do the business group. And once the business group is not set up, we cannot mean do our HR setup in this stage. So these are the basic informations which are almost required in almost all the organization. It is not like that they have different information or they have different kind of things. Same structure, same information is already using almost all over the you can say world.
Well,
Because in Gulf areas I also implemented, and I did the implementation for Singapore as well, as I mentioned. So these kind of information is almost required same structure. So you don't have to worry. Actually, I want to just show you that what are the values they have entered for this competencies name. Let us see, because we can able to see other companies information as well. For example, I already copied it. Let's see what. Yeah, see, communication skills, innovation,
leadership.
leadership, presentation skills. So these kind of competencies names they have used. And if we will see the competency, for example, the category also, because I think, let us see percentage and press tab. So okay, so this is the competency category. Let's see what are the categories there. They have core competence and professional skills. These are the two categories, and based on what they have to do under this category, they have different skills. Under this category, they have different skills. You get my point, because the category name is basically a is a derived from catalog. So under main is the catalog. Under catalog we have categories. So under categories we have different info, more detail of those categories. So this is the set of one set. This is second set, second category you can say. And based on that, once they will open the career management screen now to enter the competencies, then these categories need to be select. This is the only thing. Currently I can understand that you may be find some difficulties to understand these kind of information which I am telling you right now. But the point is, once we will do the setup na, of this key flag fields, then we will go into the HR, and then I will come again to explain you. I will explain you in detail on that time, and then on that stage you will be in very good position to understand what I am telling right now. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so you don't have to worry about it. It
Thank
is just to stand the business group setup. That's why I'm just, I have to click on this field, and then I have to click on find, and I click on human, and then I click on competency flex field. So almost today I will try my level best to finalize the key flex fields. Okay,
you.
because we already have CC competency Okay, underscore KFF like that. CCL Pharma Competency KFF. Press tab. I'm going into the segment. I'm going into this field. I will write down competency name. See, segment will be one. Again, value set we need to create it. CCL competency value set. CCL Pharma competency value set. Also, I will create the same 150 guys. Save it. I will come here. I will save not required. I will come here. CCL. Now, if I will click on CCL percentage, you will see all the CCL. Means see CCL your related to your value sets. There are other CCL as well, but if you see here, for example, if I write down CCL, yeah, you get my point, because this is the naming conventions which we discussed in initial stage, that we have to use the naming conventions to uh, to store this information based on our business group.
Yes.
Okay, so let me save it, freeze it, allow dynamic insert, and click on save or click on compile. Both are the same thing. Okay, the data that defines the flag field on this field may be inconsistent. That is application error. That is not related to unable to freeze. Okay, let me come into close it. No, and then come it back. Hopefully, it will come. Competency flag field. It is already done. It gives us an error, but it is already been compiled.
Okay.
It is, there is no, because that was not related to our means setup issue. That was the application error. Okay,
Hmm.
so it is already been completed. Now we have to create two more. Which one? One is the cost allocation, and the second one is people group.
Hmm.
The bank detail is also used, but that is not going to used for business group. So
Hmm.
you have to be, it means bank detail is a key flag field also, because when we use the payroll setup now, every employee have bank payment method. Mean payment method they have. Means some employees salaries goes into the bank. Most of the times it goes into the bank, and when we do the setup for bank, means payroll, and in the payroll we have to do the setup for payment method. In the payment method, this bank detail key flex field is required. Okay, so
Okay.
that is going to be used when we will go into that section. But these 2 and 4 in the human resource are the key, means most used key flag fields for stand up the business group.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So let me first click people group. I will explain you what is the people group. People group is basically whenever we want to add extra information in the for the employees. For example, we want to give allowances to employees. We want to do some different categories, assign the categories to the employees. Okay, for example, we want to say we want to capture more information which is not going to be captured in the assignment screen.
Mhm.
Then we will create the people group key flex field, because this is mandatory for the business group. So that's why I will just do create only a basic setup for you, so you can get an idea. For example, I will show you what is going to use here. Empresa is basically that is related to Brazil, so we don't know what Empresa basically means in their payroll. So let us see if there any uh, AE related, UAE related key flex. Yeah, AEHRC Vision UE people group. For example, if I click on this segment, maybe they have some. They are also using only one, which is one thing. Anyhow, let me explain you about it. Don't worry about it. Let us see CCL people group. Write down people KFF. Khalas. Tab, tab, CCL, Pharma, people group, KFF. Okay. We'll go into the key flex fields. We will click on G10 for example, I want to mm, give car allowance. Okay. Oh, let me change it. Not like that. Let me do this. We are basically, I'm just guiding you to use the same naming conventions so you can get better idea. Means car allowance, segment 1. Okay. Okay, there are some predefined value sets as well. So what I want to do, I want to say that this whenever I want to give any person a car allowance, I want to make it yes or no.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to, because see, I want to give car allowance to grade from
5.
G1 to G5. So whenever there all the employees, for example 15 or 20 employees are there, so I whenever I will click on the assignment screen and I will select those grade employees one by one, I have to give the car allowance to them. So what I want to do, I want to say yes or no. If I will click yes, means these employees are related to the car allowance, rest are not eligible for those car allowance. You
Hmm.
get my point?
Yes.
So there are a few segments, value sets are there where we can write down yes, I think yes or no.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, so these are the let me scroll down. Let me click standard. Actually, in this means you can say the application which you already installed now, most of the uh, people already have created this yes no by for their legislation or for their vision. Because if you see that Brazil legislation, US legislation, or which we discussed in very initial stage, that's why I'm unable to find the exact one. We can use there, that is not big issue, but the point is, yeah, this one, yes or no. Okay.
Yes, okay. With underscore.
With underscore. So I will show you the value set of this one as well. I want to make it mandatory. Means I means whenever we will create it, na, means mandatory means required. So I'm not unchecking it. Okay. So I will show you that information once we will finalize this segment. Let me create one more. House allowance. Okay. This I want to also use means you can say yes or no. You get my point? So means to whom I want to give the house allowance, I want to say yes, I want to give it. If there is nothing, means those are none employees. Yes underscore no. Okay. There will be more. Means I want to add any other information. I can add more information. Okay. So for so far to just stand the structure, I want to just give these two segments. I want to create these two segments. I want to click freeze. I click OK. I click on dynamic allow insert, compile. Okay, and this one done.
Hmm.
Now let me create the last one, which is the cost allocation key flex field. Let us select this one. Okay. Again, let me show you for one of the cost allocation key flag field, so you will get a better. This is the information basically which is going to use for general ledger,
Hmm.
because this is the chart of account basically. Means company have one code, means they, as you see here, they have value sets as well, or every value sets have values as well. Let me give you a little bit information about this cost, and then I will create it, so you will get much better information. For example, this is the value set which they created, company operation company. Here, see, now this under this company means the company is the main enterprise uh, for the organization. Means enterprise is the main head. Means CCL is an enterprise. Under CCL, we have different departments. Means these are the companies. Means operations, distributions, project manufacturing, education limited, Vision Thailand. These are the companies they already have in the for one of the organization. So that's why what they, and for every company they have created a code like this. So every country, means company have to created a code. So this is the code of a company, number one thing. Let me open another value set. I will explain you about this. It will take a little bit time, but you will be in much better position. Means of account, for example, operations account. Now account I will show you. See, if you have ever an idea to see the finance things, these are the accounts which used in finance, and it also need to use in the payroll as well, because uh, there are a lot of accounts. I don't have a detailed information about finance side, but I'm just trying to give you me see investor receivable, account payable. These are basically the accounts is which used in mostly all organizations. Means account payable, deferred receivable, cash clearing. Maybe you heard somewhere, means loan advances, salary payable, means we are paying the salary to the employees. The salary payable is also a account, and that account is 1280. Okay, so interest receivable, these all are basically related to the finance side, because those are the people who create the chart of accounts for the organization. And every accountant peoples, all those means peoples know this information very well. But I'm, as I mentioned you last time before, that we, whenever we are going to create a cost allocation key flex field, we have to use the same structure. Means we will use the same structure which they already have created. Means now you can see here, these are the department names. Operations department. So west region resource, east region resource, computer resources, communication resources. These are basically, they are using this, means sales, regional sales management. So these are basically the department, sales east, sales north. So this kind of information mostly basically used, done by the finance team. But I'm just giving you a idea. Account, company, department, product, sub accountant are also there. Even last we saw the ledger also there. So these are the basically products. Means they, what they are doing, they are create, this is one of the company which they have created, and based on that they use that. Let me just give you one simple, one more example of the chart of account. I hope you will get more better idea about it. So let me open it. The first one is the company. Okay, so this is the operation. I'm using 01. Let me open uh, one notepad, and I will try to tell you. See here, 01, for example, it is an operation, it is a company. Okay, so I'm going to combine the chart of account for you, so you will get better idea. Operations, then I'm going to create, click account. Okay, for example, I'm using payroll cash account. See, this is the payroll cash account. So what will happen, this is this, and payroll cash account. Okay, I will combine them, and you will get better idea. Okay, operation. Then I'm going to select department. For example, this is facilities, and this facilities has 110 dash facilities. Okay, and let us use the third segment which they already have. For example, product. Okay, I'm using this the third one as well. So what will happen? 110 dash this facility standard facility, which is a product.
Mm.
Okay, let me now show you this. See, whenever any information, any transaction is going to be happened in Oracle, basically any employee, for example, employee is in operation company, okay,
Mm.
and it is going to hit to this payroll cash account, and that employee is under facilities resource department, okay,
Mm.
and this is the one of the product which sometimes it's not used in this ledger, because this is, it is related to inventory, because if if you see the name operations product, so in product is related to inventory, but first three accounts automatically going to hit one employee. For example, A is an employee, okay,
Okay.
ठीक है, and once we are running the payroll, what will happen, what the accounting transaction is going to create, it is going to create 01 dash 1120 dash 110. You get my point? Means a employee salary is going to hit this company,
Mm.
this account under this department. Means,
Okay.
for example, this company is, this a employee salary is 10,000, okay, so 10,000 is the basic salary. Maybe there will be another allowances, another something, lump sum, whatever allowances is. I'm just talking about basic. So basic salary also have an account. Number one thing you have to keep in mind, means basic salary have some, maybe it will also come under this account. For example, let us try, maybe they have some allowances account created over here, and we can see operations. Let me open this account and let me see, maybe they have some salary. Yeah, consultant average salary, executive salary, salary, but means, as you see here, development salary average, this is different counts they have created for their salaries. But if, for example, let us see any allowance, for example, maybe they have some allowance account as well, allowance for bad debt they have just created. But anyhow, for example, let us see, mm, accounts, ADL, GL, Independent Belgium. Oh, let me see this account, for example. I want to see, show you. Total allowance for loan loss, allowance for loan loss. So if you get an idea, means these are the allowances, and every allowance, every account have a different code, and these code basically is going to use in the counting entry in debit and credit. To do the debit credit, we have this kind of entry which is basically called related to the chart of accounts. You have to just keep this as much information like that. So hopefully you will get more idea when we will go into the payroll side. I just open a topic of costing key flex field because it's related to the KFF. Na? That's why I want to just give you a brief information about this key flex field. But so far, what we will do, will let us create the segment structure first, and inshallah, I will give you more detail about this cost allocation key flex field. So let us just create and finalize this structure setup today, so we can do the business group setup. CCL Pharma, CCL Pharma, uh, cost allocation, allocation, okay. Let me remove this copy here and paste here. Company, okay. Segment 1, so far nothing. Department, segment 2, nothing. 30, 30, account, I hope you will get an idea, Miss, because in
Yes.
cost allocation fee flex, we have to do the setup as much values segments we want to add. So we can use, as you see now, as much as segment we can add, but maximum not more than
Hmm.
30.
Yes.
So it will be unit sometimes also there. Uh, we will utilize it later, inshallah. Sometimes organization have projects as well, so they also use the project segment.
Hmm.
Segment 5. So I'm just finalizing this. Let me not make it required. Let's click up. Okay. Go up. Account not required, not required, not required, and save. Slide transaction completed, 6 records applied. This is the segment or key flex field related to the costing allocation key flex field and allow dynamic insert. There is one more thing, let me explain you. There is one thing which is called flex field qualifiers.
Okay.
Okay, it now the flex field qualifiers basically used in the costing allocation key flex fields. It always show, you maybe see it before in other key flex field segments when we create it, but it's basically used in account costing allocation flex fields, because if you see here, these are the names which is calling assignment, balancing, element entry, organization, and payroll. Now, this is totally related to the payroll segment. Okay. So I'm not going to go in too detail, So you will become confused because so far we are in HR, but this, as I mentioned again and again, the cost allocation key flex field is related to the payroll segment. Okay,
Yes, sir.
but a little bit information that these flex field qualifiers are basically means when we want to hit the costing on different levels. You have to just remember this, these kind of definitions. When we are going to hit the costing, uh, do the costing allocation on a different levels. So in payroll we have assignment screen. Okay, assignment level. We have balancing. I will explain. I definitely will explain in detail. We have element screen. Means screen means forms. Element entry form, organization screen, payroll screen. These are the basically screens where we can set that we want to say that this company need to enable, this segment need to enable at organization level, for example. So what I will do, I will check this. Okay, this
Okay.
is why it is not checking, because we already freezed it. You get my point? So
Okay.
if I will unfreeze it, it will allow me to click on it. That is one thing. But I'm just giving you an information. Means, for example, I want to enable this and this two fields on element entry level. So what I will do, I will click here. Okay, and when I will come here, I will again click on flex fields. I want to click on this one. So I want to enable these segments
Hmm.
on different screens, because these are the qualification levels. I will explain you about this. Means which one is the higher precedence, which has low precedence, which has less precedence. Means priority level of these segments need to be used on a different screens. Okay, surely I will explain you in detail when we will go into the payroll side, but I
Okay.
just want to give you an idea so you can get this in your mind on that stage.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so far, alhamdulillah, I think we have created all the key flex fields. Let us freeze it, and okay, transaction applied and saved. Okay, khalas. So what we will do now, let us go into our CCL human resource, and let us come now into the work structure. Let us come into the organization and come into the description, and we will open a business group. Mm, CCL have we created? No. Okay. We have to create one. Okay. Uh, Fine. We create one. Okay. So, okay. Now what we will do, we will create one organization,
Hmm.
which will be the, means you can say CCL Pharma name, organization name. Under CCL Pharma, we will create organization hierarchy. Means under all CCL Pharma, there will be different departments as well. Okay, so we will go in detail in later stage. But today, what we will do, we will create one organization name, and under that organization name, we will attach the business group. Number one thing. Before creating that, today is, as you know, today is 3/24/2021. Okay,
Yes.
so in HR, now this is another information for you, that in HR we can uh, play with the dates. Means whenever we want to do any setup, okay, we will always use the past date, as past date we can use. For example, when we will come, for example, we are going to implement the HR implementation for CCL. What we will ask to them, when CCL pharma was established. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Means because we want to capture as much information of that organization in the system. Means if we want to capture the historical data, if we want to capture transactional data even,
Mm,
because what happened in finance as well, they have to open some account and close some account, and there are some opening periods and closing periods as well in finance side. So we have to play with the dates. So what I to change the date, what I will do, I will click on this alter effective date icon you see here. So I
yes.
will click on alter effective date. It will show me the current date,
Mm,
okay, and today's date, because I am sitting on 24th March, but I want to do this setup on 1st Jan 1950. Okay, so what I will do, I will click write down this date, I will click on OK, and what will happen now, you can see here the organization have this screen is going to be record the information with effect from 1st Jan 1950. Okay, so whenever any setup, keep it in mind, whenever any setup related information which we are going to be do for the organization in the Oracle application, we will use the as past date which we want to do it. Okay, so I want to create this information on 1st Jan 1950. I will click on create. I will click write down CCL Pharma, okay, private limited, like this. Remove the dot. Type. Now what I will do, I will select the type. Means I want to create this as a business group, I want to create as a business unit, under business unit, or I want to create this as a company, or corporate headquarter. So once I will select any type, I will select that. Okay, for example, I will click on company, that this will be my company. So you see here, now the date is automatically showing
mm,
1st Jan 1950.
mm,
There is location also required, but you can see here, you can add those location in later stage, because these are not mandatory fields.
yes.
You see here, yeah. So that is the one thing. Let me now first, this is the first section
Mm,
block which we want to save first. Let me save this information. Now I can come into this section, and I will click the business group, and I will click on enable. I will click on save.
mm,
This is the organization classifications. This is also very important part. Means they can ask also most of the time that under the organization screen, what are the business, what is the business group. Okay, so you can mention that there is a Oracle classification section under the organization screen, where we can select the business group to stand the setup for our HR uh, core module.
mm,
So we also have to select here HR organization as well. I will explain you about this as well. So far, I will only create these two information. Is valid, you have specified in group, business group, identifier or name. Why? Okay, let me remove this for a while. Let me save this one, remove this one, save this one. No change. Okay. Okay. No problem. Let me, if I will change this. Okay. Sometimes it's happened. This is the basically lock they have done for us.
Hmm.
Most of the time systems do this kind of things, means whenever you do one transaction na,
Hmm.
so you try to save it, but it almost lock the system, so you don't have to worry about it. Let me close this applet. Automatically it will close. We have to close this one also. Okay. Organize. Okay, CCL Pharma. Now you see, now the name is also coming. Okay, costing figures that could not be found for this. Okay, okay, fine. Now what I have to do, basically once I click on the business group, na,
Hmm.
we have to define the business group as well. Okay, so
Okay.
what we will do now, we are going to do the structure as we discussed in very initial stage, and you, as you know, we already created all these structures.
Hmm.
Okay, so now let us create the short name CCLBG.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes. Okay.
employee number automatic, I am going to select automatic. I am going to select automatic for the contingent worker as well. Okay, now CCL. Okay, CCL automatically it will appear CCL, because we use the naming convention.
Yes. Okay.
But for
Hmm.
job I don't think so we use this one, no? I think it is using, okay, it is using the description second column. Anyhow, CCL position, CCL competency. Let me see. Let us do one thing. It is much better for us to. Basically I'm doing this, why? Because when once it business group is saved now, we cannot change that name or naming convention which we mistakenly created. You get my point? So
Yes. Yes.
I'm just giving you the exact means naming conventions and the standards, so we have to follow, and it will be also look very good when we are going to do this. For example, this is what is this is using title basically. If you see here, see, it is using the title. So let me change this, compiling again, key ff, and this one. Hala. So if we want to do any this one, because that was our first EFF which we created on that time. Whenever you do any change and any save, it will automatically saved in that. So that is the only thing. Now let us come back to CCL. Work structure, organization, description. Let us finalize CCL. Find. Yes, we know. Let us change this also date into 1st Jan 1950. Whenever you close the application, because you saw I closed the application 2 times and then I come from the main. So that's why the date is automatically comes to the effective date. So we have to change the date as well.
Okay.
So this is very important to change the date effective whenever we do the setup thing.
Hmm.
CCL, BG, automatic. I want to use the capital all, not a single one. Automatic, CCL, CCL, CCL. See, you get that point?
Mhm.
Now that naming convention is using the same thing which we use, which we just changed there. Okay, legislation, which legislation we want to use? Is
Mm,
Pakistan is there? Okay, khalas, if it is there,
then
good.
PKR.
Rupees,
Okay.
okay. PKR, not this one. P is not RS, not R as well. Okay, let us see. Pakistan. No, Pakistan has no currency. How it is possible? Because actually last time we discussed that in Pakistan,
Mm,
also it is using the UK currency, something like that. This one, okay. Mm, or make it. We will do one thing. We will do United Arab. That's why it will not, even it is not going to impact anything, because when we can use the currency converter, basically that is the functionality in all organizations. So we can handle that kind of, means pound sterling can be converted into Pak rupees as well. So there is a currency converter, and that is related to basically to finance side. It is not going to impact in our business growth. So it is not any hard and fast rule to be finalized this thing. Let us fiscal year start, you can say 1st Jan 2021. Okay,
mm,
that will be the our physical year start. Minimum working age, you can select 20, and maximum you can select 60. Even these all are not mandatory. Okay, so
Yes.
you, even if you leave it, you can also leave that as well. Now let me save this now. Now you see our business group is now
It-
created. If you come here again, you come into your business group information, see all the information is there. So
mm,
this is the setup of our business group. Now let me just, it's almost we crossed 30 minutes more. Actually, I want to just finalize the business group today, so at least we can do other things as well. For example, now job is, this is the job screen. So
mm,
now I'm not going into the screens today. Let us go in tomorrow. But now you will get a basic idea. So once I create the job key flex fields. So that job key flex field structure will use in job. The position key flex field structure will use in position. The grade key flex field structure use in grade screen. And the career management, when we are creating the competencies, it will use in the competency screen. You get my point? The fourth one. And once we will create an employee and we will go into the assignment screen, that people group will use there, and cost allocation also will be used in over there. So that are the 5 things which we will use, inshallah. I will show you tomorrow. And
okay.
then in that, on that time, you will get more better idea. Okay, that is, those were the key flag fields. Based on those key flag fields, we create our business group created. Then everything is going to be start from initial. That is basically the whole HR core setup which we did,
Okay, sir.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. ठीक
Yes,
है
sir.
ना? तो ये है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारा सारा HR कोर का सेटअप. बाकी
Okay.
इंशाल्लाह इसको हम कल फिर देखेंगे. ठीक
सही
है?
होगा.
हाँ, चलें. थैंक यू बहुत बहुत.
ठीक हो गया सर, बहुत शुक्रिया सर.
मोस्ट वेलकम, मोस्ट वेलकम. ओके जी, अल्लाह हाफिज़.
अल्लाह हाफिज.